Hey everybody, how are you? Lonnie here with Pampered Chef again, and I am going to take you through another fantastic recipe to use with the Deluxe cooking blender. And you know, it's just like an amazing cooking blender. This is my very first electric that I ever got from Pampered Chef, and I can't tell you, this is why I had my party, was so I could get this blender. It is amazing. And today I'm going to take you through making an awesome nut butter. I say nut butter because it's not just peanuts, it's a combination of different things, and it's a lot healthier than what you buy in the store. You don't have all the preservatives, the added sugar, the added oil, and things like that. And the recipe is right in the cooking guide for the blender. If you have the blender, get your cooking guide out. You want to make this, go ahead and grab it and let's do it. It's on page 15, and at the very bottom it says super seed butter. So this is loaded with all kinds of fantastic, yummy flavors. It calls for, to begin with, a tablespoon of oil. Now, I don't do oil, so what I've done is I've added some peanuts. It doesn't call for peanuts in the recipe, but I've added some roasted peanuts. I had raw peanuts, Spanish peanuts, so they have the skin on, and I roasted them in the air fryer to help bring out some of their oils. And I think that's going to offset. If it's a little dry, we'll deal with it. We'll figure out something else. But I typically don't use oil in any of my cooking. You know, if you watch any of my videos, you watch me saute. I'm sauteing in water, or I'm sauteing in veggie broth. So we really try to stay away from oils. So I didn't want to add any additional oils. It also calls for cashews. Now, cashews are very high in fat. So obviously nut butter is not something that we have on hand all the time. You know, we don't eat it very often. So if I'm going to eat it, I want to make sure it's as healthy as I possibly can get it in lots and lots of different things. So we're going to add our roasted salted almonds or unsalted almonds. So a cup of those, and I'm going to go ahead and add those in. It also calls for salt, and I'm not adding salt. It calls for cinnamon. I prefer not to put cinnamon in my nut butter. You can certainly do that. The Korenji cinnamon or even the cinnamon plus would be a fantastic option. Also calls for 2 cups of roasted unsalted cashews. I didn't quite have 2 cups because somebody's been snacking on them. So we've got just under a cup, and I augmented with some peanuts and added a little extra. So we're gonna pop those in here. Also, we're gonna do a 1/2 cup of roasted unsalted pumpkin seeds or pepitas. So those are in there. Oops, we got a stray almond there. And it calls for 2 tablespoons of chia seeds and 2 tablespoons of flax seeds. Now, your body cannot break down flax seed, no matter how. If you eat whole flax seeds, you see them in breads and things like that, your body cannot break those down unless they're broken, because their little shell is so hard and so impermeable to our stomach acid. So it doesn't do a whole lot of good. So you have to grind them up or break them up. So in this recipe, you could certainly use flaxseed meal, and that would be fine, because that's all it is ground flaxseed. There's nothing else added to it, so just ground flax seeds. But I'm going to use the whole flax seeds. I have those, and I have some whole chia seeds. Now, if you want, you can take your chia seeds and you can actually toast them. It gives it a whole different flavor, kind of that roasty, toasty kind of, you know, flavor to it. So I'm leaving mine just as they are, so we're gonna pop those in there too. And then we're gonna pop our lid on. Now, a couple of tools that we're definitely gonna want to use with the blender, and they come with it. It's our tamper, okay, number 1. This one we're definitely gonna use because that nut butter, once it starts grinding, it's gonna climb up the sides of the blender, and you're gonna wanna push it back down towards the blade, because otherwise it's not gonna do it good. And then to get all that lovely stuff out, you're gonna need your long, skinny scraper. This is a great tool to get in between these little grooves in the blender jar. It's so easy to get down around the blade too. This is a perfect tool. All right, so we're gonna pop this on here. Pop your lid on and turn it to a little ching-a-ring. Then we're gonna turn this to the grind setting. Okay, that's the 3rd one, because you have your smoothie, your alternative milk, grind, and then you get into your heated wash. So we want the grind setting, and it's set for 2 minutes and 20 seconds, and then we're just gonna push the button. And she's gonna go. So, see how it climbs slowing down briefly and start camping. Tamp it down. Oh, it's already starting. Already starting to turn in that butter. Almost there. This is so yummy. Oh. Actually, I think it's done. Yeah, we got it. All right, there we go. And we're gonna take our lid off. And this is really, really super sticky. And there we go. We've got some of it right there. It's not as thick and dry as I thought it was gonna be. So we're gonna take this off. Okay, this is not something that you want to try to do with just your everyday blender. You want to make sure that you've got a good, strong blender, and the Pampered Chef blender is the one to go. This actually took less time than a similar recipe did in my old blender that I used to have before Pampered Chef. So, oh, hubby's here. Yay! Getting Pupper's food. All right, so here is our Super Seed nut butter. Isn't that gorgeous? No additives, no preservatives, nothing. So I've had people tell me that they've added avocado to the nut butter, and you can certainly do that because it gives a creamy, super creamy texture. It's high in fat, so you're going to want to make sure that you store that in the refrigerator and use it fairly quickly. You can keep it covered in the refrigerator for about 4 to 6 weeks. So if you think that you're not going to use it in time, give some away. All right. I don't know that it will freeze. We could certainly try that, but definitely you can change the size of the batch. You can change the ingredients up a little bit. And the recipes in the book give you all you need to do for almond butter, cashew butter, peanut butter, and then sunflower seed butter. So if you have somebody who's allergic to nuts and tree nuts, you can make a batch of sunflower seed butter so very easily. So that's it. That's all we do. We're going to take this out of the blender and put it into a jar and store it. And then I'm going to put this through the heated wash cycle, and that's done. And it's supper time. All right, guys, have a great one. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.